Hi, Tyler. I can, yes. How are you? I'm doing well. How's Littlefield going? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Are you guys in third place? I think that's where I thought you last. No? Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh-huh. Hmm. Uh-huh. Hmm. Gotcha. Uh-huh. It wouldn't get too bad. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of timing. Uh, and I think it's certainly a so did you I won't give anything away. Did you have a prediction of where it levels off, the expected number of arrivals? And what was that? How many arrivals? Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And it could be just this run. So you sent me the thing, and to be honest, so this is my first time running this game. So you sent it to me, and I thought, oh shit, did I give wrong information about when this levels off and everything? And I went back through, and it has followed the trajectory that it should. So all that's right. I think just, and we'll talk about probably this week the type of distribution it's following. And I think the hard part is even if you predict it right, there's still the standard deviation to the demand, and that's where you can get really screwed. So you could have the whole, but mhm, 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 uh-huh. There continues to be a trend. Yeah. Yeah. And, and every time you run it, it's going to be different. And you guys could have just been screwed by a bad randomness for this one. And because there is supposed to be some restraint, right? Where you trust that you've projected it right, and you don't just panic and buy another machine because it's getting it's not doing what you want it to. But this could have been one of the instances where that was actually the right move. Um, Overall, though, yeah. But overall, I think in all, hopefully have time before Wednesday's class after it finishes to look at what people's strategies are. But my guess is the top half of the class, they all did the right thing, and it was just dumb luck as to whether you were first or fifth, right? And then I'm guessing the bottom half made some mistakes early on, right? Hmm. 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 Help. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Um, it's a fun one. And you'll get another chance. So this one was, I think, the winning team of this one, I think I said they get 3 points. The winning team of the next simulation will get five. So that one's higher stakes. Just for total points overall, right? Um, yeah. So anyway, did you figure out a way to share the cool? Let's see. I don't. Let's see if it comes up. Oh, yep. I see it. Okay. 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 So I can mute myself and just type in questions in chat. I can mute myself and just type in questions. Okay. So it's no longer a never-ending loop. Mm. Okay. So this is your factory. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. So I'm guessing you're flying around right now. You got some sort of jetpack. Uh-huh. Okay. Mhm. Carrots. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Quick question. Is there a cost associated with transporting to your factory, like distance wise? Hmm. Okay. 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 The reason I ask is there's this um uh, kind of a tangent here, but um, in my supply chain analytics class, one of the things we talk about, and your first comment about this game, just diving in or starting from the beginning and setting things up perfectly, is there's kind of three ways you can approach a supply chain. Either you design it from the ground up, and that's a very rare opportunity where you're doing things like figuring out where you put your factories, where you put your distribution networks, all that stuff, right? More common is you're just thrown into a supply chain. How do we make better decisions? There is something called greenfield analysis. It's also called a gravity model, where it's essentially where are your either supply or demand locations, and where's the optimal place to put either a distribution center or a factory given the cost distances. So I'm curious if this game has that kind of. Yeah. Okay. And is that a time penalty if you choose a? Okay, gotcha. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Uh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Energy or something. Okay. Um, now, so curious, you mentioned the physics of fluids in this case. Is there somewhere to like see the rate at which things are being input and output? Well, yeah, either one. I'm curious how they differentiate if they actually talk in volumes for. Okay, cool. Sure. Yeah, and we don't necessarily have to. I was just kind of curious about the fluids if they do it. But Mhm. Mhm. Okay. I think it was 180% maybe. Does that sound right? 70. Maybe it was somewhere around there. Mhm. Okay. And do you have to build more infrastructure to create energy, or is there a cost to energy? Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. So you have first step extraction, that's your source, right? That's pulling it out of the ground at a certain rate. And it doesn't do you any good unless your conveyor belt rate matches it, right? Okay. Uh-huh. Mhm. And I'm guessing there's, well, how many types how many types of items are you producing? Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So it's probably a handful of raw materials, and they're all getting converted into a ton of different. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Gotcha. Mhm. Uh-huh. Okay. 53. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. So what would we call that? Exactly. Yeah. Well, the rates, the inflow and outflow rates are the same. Yeah. Yeah, and so different ratios, right, are coming in and out. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. And that's like a utilization, like in our little field. Nice. Um, is there your final goods? Um, does it assume that anytime you finish a good, and this is a kind of a weird, it might not fit for this context, but there's a market for it, so you can ship it out. Okay, so there's no like randomness to demand. You're just trying to make everything efficient. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. 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 And then do you get like to the next level if you create all that and then it's a completely different set of okay. So you have to redesign everything to get the new products or not necessarily redesign it, but Mhm. Yeah. Space. Uh, yeah. I'm guessing it's pretty easy to lose track of certain supply chains here. Oh, I see some stalled goods. Yes. Are there, is that a conveyor belt? Okay. Okay. Mhm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mhm. So it's a lot of prioritization for what the best upgrade or next step. Mhm. Gotcha. Uh, So yeah, ideally there's like a central location where you see the rates for all your different products. Which we'll talk about this probably next week. And it's not a perfect analogy, but one of the major thing, one of the considerations when you're managing inventories is do you have continuous view or periodic view of inventory levels? And you make different inventory decisions whether you have whether you're able to just instantaneously check the inventory level or if you only see it every week or because that's in practice that's I mean now we have a lot of um, technology that allows you to view constantly what your inventory levels are. But in the past, it's usually like your delivery person would then the example I'll probably give is like if you're refilling soda machines, you only know what the level of the soda is when you actually make a delivery. So that's only happening once a week. And now modern soda machines will communicate to the central depot and let you know when your inventory goes below a certain level. That kind of a sidebar, but interesting. Mhm. Yeah. Well, okay. And it is the interesting thing to me about this game is this probably close like we do all this modeling of how you analyze a system, but in the real world you're only able to map out so much and so much a lot of it you just do by feel, right? So it's ideally in this game it would be really great to write this all out on paper and figure out like what my ideal utilization rates are for each of these and how but practically it's impossible. So it's kind of yeah. Mhm. But yeah, that's not why you play it, right? But you're developing that intuition about how all of this is related, right? How really determine. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Jeez. Mhm. Okay. So when they fill up and drain, those are spikes in flow rates. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, because you would draw down that buffer if earlier stuff is stopped. Hmm. Okay. That's super cool. Uh, But so is operations. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for walking me through this. That's really interesting. I'll find some time to look into this more. Maybe I'll figure out how to play it at some point. But it's yeah, I I could definitely see how, I mean, maybe you've kind of developed this intuition, but hopefully there's some things in the class that are like aha moments where it's like, Mhm. Mhm. So bottleneck identity. Yeah, and that ends up being a lot of operations. It's just chasing bottlenecks and only chasing them when they become an issue. Yeah. Well, very cool. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time. Yeah. Cool, cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for setting this up, Tyler. Really appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you on Wednesday. All right.